A very good morning to all my dear friends and a very happy Diwali as well. I'm sure you all are going to enjoy today's Diwali and dear friends, God bless you all, right? My prayers are with you guys and may light always be there in everything that you are doing. May your life become as colorful as possible, right? And I hope and I pray that you enjoy each and every moment of your life. With this big Diwali sale is on, flat 60% off is available on our pen drive and Android courses. To find out more about it, do check out StudyIQ.com. Now today we have got the Hindu newspaper because it's a day off in the Hindu newspaper, but it's not a day off for this the Hindu analysis in Hindi and English. So I have got a special topic for you guys, and then we are going to talk about a couple of important news items, and then we'll wrap up today's session. So the special topic starts with the person that you can see on your screen. His name is Milton Friedman. He is an American economist, and as per Milton, the three most important duties of any government in the world is providing defense, maintaining law and order, and enforcing contracts or contract enforcement, that is CE. Couple of days ago, we saw this ease of doing business report or doing business report was launched by World Bank. 2018's latest report is out. Last year we were at rank 100. This year our position is 77th, which is not bad at all. In 1 year we have jumped 23 places. In last some 4 years we have jumped some 64 places. When we started we were somewhere at 142, 143. At present we are at 77, which is not bad at all. So things are quite good as far as ease of doing business is concerned, but see, this rank that we have got, this rank 77, is an average of various different factors and things. Now, when we pay, attention to details regarding this contract enforcement that is part of this ease of doing business report, then what we find is out of 190 countries, our rank in this contract enforcement metric is 163. That means we are not at all doing good when it comes to contract enforcement. And from this statement we can understand that Milton has said that the three most important, the core duties of government is defense, law enforcement, and he is also talking about contract enforcement. And this is something that is visible, or it was tried in this economic survey as well of 2017-18 to highlight this issue of you can say lack of this proper culture as far as CE is concerned. When I say CE, I'm talking about contract enforcement. So in India, CE has not received adequate attention as far as defense and law and order is concerned. It's all right, reasonably okayish, but when it comes to CE, it's very bad. It's in a very bad situation. Now, some clear benefits of efficient contract enforcement mechanism is remedies for aggrieved party, right? They get compensation, they get justice as soon as possible. The second thing is when justice delivery is improved, when you know that if someone will breach a contract, if a party that is part of a contract, and if that party is going to if it's going to violate that contract, then things are going to be sorted out as soon as possible. And once this things are delivered, once this result is delivered, then it will create a fear of legal fees and court fines as well in the mind of all those potential culprits, or all those people who are trying to violate contracts and make easy money out of it. So this will improve contractual obligations as well. It will reduce this flouting of laws and contract. It will create a culture in which less need will be there as far as this knocking doors of redressing bodies are concerned. CE is essential for maintaining business confidence. I'll give you a small example here. A couple of days ago we were talking about Japan and India's relationship, and I told you at that point of time that we have a special office, right? In Prime Minister's office we have this special desk for Japanese investment, so that everything can be sorted out as soon as possible. Everything can be this whole operation can be executed in as less time and making it as hassle free as possible. Now, for one country, it's fine, right? But there are so many countries out there. They are bit skeptical. They don't want to invest in India, even though they know that India is the fastest economy in the world. But still, they want to stay away from our countries because of this lack of business confidence. Overall, yes, we can say that business environment has improved. Ease of doing business is quite visible, right? Rank 77 is not bad from 143, but when it comes to contract enforcement, if we pay attention to this CE, then I'm sure our average will improve, and it's not going to be that difficult for us to see ourselves in top 50. That's what we are trying to achieve, right? That's where we want to this is the position where we want to see ourselves in near future. So CE can maintain, it can develop and enhance that business confidence in the economy of our country. It can reduce this uncertainty. You don't know what's going to happen with your money if CE is not enforced, or if it's not that active, and it of course promotes fair play too. Now, cost of stalled projects and legal fees are something that we cannot ignore as far as investment and projects are concerned. The money that we lose, those opportunities that slip out of our hand when this stalled project, when projects are stalled, or when they come to a chokehold, and when various different parties, they are engaged against each other in taking them down in this court of law, and it takes ages as well in our country to come to a logical conclusion. On an average, it takes somewhere around 5+ years to sort out a contract violation. So this is something that is not sustainable. It's not viable for a business. So this is one of the main reasons why people consider our market, our economy, a bit risky when it comes to investment. Risk is something that is part and parcel of a business, but there are various different types of risk. One is educational risk, right? Risk, I would like to explain here that, say for example, you are preparing for a competitive exam. Now, you know that the risk is that either you will, the good thing is that you can pass this exam, right? Every year we see so many examples, so many students are passing this exam. So possibility is there, or in fact the probability is there. But when it comes to failure, then we know that this is something that we cannot ignore. But there is nothing called failure in competitive exam. It's more about qualifying and disqualifying. But anyways, the risks, right? So it's always there. So when you are, you make a plan, or you have this vision that you will prepare for it and everything is going to be all right. So that's something that is in your head, or it's a plan. But now you start, implementing that plan. Now you have purchased some books and you are following these lectures, and now you're going through newspapers and other things. So you are executing your plan. So this is the portion of risk, right? You are taking a risk here, and there's no harm in it. If you don't take risk, then you will never know whether you will get it or not. So this is what educational, it's not associated with education. Educational risk is, or well-informed risk is you calculate everything and then you are taking a risk. And that's how this entrepreneurs, that's what they do. It's not that they take hasty decisions or without calculating. You calculate everything and then you move ahead. So the more you can say, if you are going ahead with a company, in a business or something, and if all possible risk you have taken into consideration, but now when it comes to CE, and if this thing is also a risk, or if you have to leave it on your destiny, when it comes to contract enforcement, then this will create a market where people will naturally, overall people will, on an average, you will find less risk-taking people. And because of this thing, what happens is we lose in innovation. For innovation, you need a market, a setup where people can try, where people are allowed to fail. But this is something that, that is, means if you are trying to make something and then you fail, that's fine. At least you learn something out of it. But if your business fails because of lack of contract enforcement, then this is something that is purely manageable, but still we are not doing it. You know what I mean? So this is a thing, and because of this thing, what we are seeing here is that deaths of innovation in our country. The situation of Banks at present, NPA is a big issue. Yesterday we were talking about NPA and so many items. So loan repayment has led to capital crunch, and this further makes loan expensive. And this is one of the reasons why this agriculture and infrastructure sectors are not supported by banks that much because their money is being taken away by, or it's blocked by a few parties in the sense few borrowers. They are willful defaulters, or they have not fulfilled this contract of paying back. Nobel laureate Oliver Hart says that excessive vertical integration is something we find in those economy where contract enforcement is not that good. I have one example for you guys. It's about this e-commerce companies. I'm sure we all use this e-commerce companies, right? We have two companies here. One is Amazon and Flipkart. They work on this hybrid model, right? They work on this hybrid model of business. What it is all about, I'm going to explain to you in a minute. Then you have Snapdeal. You can also add eBay here. So eBay and Snapdeal, they are working on this marketplace model. So the basic difference is that in this hybrid models, right, companies themselves, this Amazon and Flipkart, right, they themselves sell various products along with other sellers by integrating logistics, procurement, and delivering. Right, so if you are a seller, and if you are a buyer and a seller on Amazon, so if you are buying something from someone, then that there are various different sellers. But Flipkart or Amazon, they will work like a sort of inspector. They will inspect this item, and they'll make sure that the things that you are selling on this platform, right, you are selling authentic, genuine things, things that you have written in this description. You are selling only those things. You are not cheating people. Here what happened in Snapdeal and eBay, it's not that these companies are lack of innovation. It's not that they don't know how to innovate. They were doing good as well, but the problem with them was that they started this marketplace. It's not a problem. Their business model was marketplace. So here companies are just like, they provide you a platform where purchasers and buyers and sellers can interact with each other. Now, as per Snapdeal and eBay, they are also asking their buyers and particularly their sellers to be genuine and to sell only those items which if they are selling a bottle of water, then they should write down the description, and that bottle of water should have everything that is there in the description, color and everything. But because of this lack of contract enforcement, there are many sellers, they started making this easy money. And this model of just providing a platform was it proved as a detrimental strategy for this eBay and Snapdeal. So it's all their failure, one of the main reason. Failure, or else I would say they are not dominating the market because of a lack of contract enforcement. If contract enforcement was rock solid in our country, then all those sellers who are cheating customers, they would be behind the bars, or they would be paying huge amount of penalties, but they escaped these sort of things. An effective legal system provides the necessary level playing ground for smaller firms, and it's very important. Innovation, inventions, all these things, right? We find there are so many startups. They can invent, they can innovate things. They have their own way of delivering things, and they are creative. But they cannot prosper and flourish because they don't have this vertical integration capacity. Vertical means, say for example, this is your Flipkart. So Flipkart will buy motorcycles for delivery. Flipkart will hire its own staff for delivery. Flipkart will packaging and everything. So this is something that is out of league of this new startup. So vertical integration is not good for an economy, and lack of contract enforcement is basically choking these smaller firms. A poor legal system tends to centralize industries, wherein the firms tend to integrate with backward and forward linkages. This is what backward and forward linkages is all about. And informal and often illegal channels of dispute resolution. You have this bylog and middlemen and facilitators. They will take a share of money for this compromise between two parties. And you might have heard about this cable wars that many times we find these things in various different cities, that you have cable operators, right? They will not allow you. Every cable operator is unofficially declared their areas, and no one is allowed to enter into each of those area and things like that. So all these things are quite, you can say, visible examples of this lack of contract enforcement in our country. So I hope we have got enough examples and clear idea about the losses or this gravity of this or the importance of contract enforcement for our economy. Now let me take you through some important news items. 52% of India's urban youth are now bilingual. 18% speak 3 languages. They are known as trilinguals. RBI board role is worrisome, shouldn't intervene in operations, has been said by Raghuram Rajan. He has said that they should behave like a vice, a group of wise people. They can advise, they can counsel, they can play a Rahul Dravid type of role rather than Navjot Sidhu type of role. That's what Raghuram Rajan has said, and Rajan said that it is not practically possible for the government to meet its fiscal targets by getting the RBI to transfer larger amount from its reserve. Yesterday we were talking about this thing, remember? Point number 3 for behind the dispute between RBI and government. Gujarat ex-minister to felicitate lioness killer. This is a very sad story coming from Gujarat. We have some utterly foolish people who are promoting or appreciating this sort of behavior. If someone is killing a lion for whatever reason, then this Gujarat ex-minister, he has said that he is going to throw a party sort of thing. He is going to felicitate that person. So that's a very negative culture he's trying to spread. Intel probe agencies should come under RTI. This has been said by Divya Prakash Sinha. He is Information Commissioner, and his demand is that this intelligence, investigative, security, NIS, CBI, IB, paramilitary forces, right, they should come under this purview of RTI Act. And it's about checks and balances. It's about democracy. It's about, means, of course we can understand if an operation is ongoing, then we cannot seek information, or we will not get information on this ongoing operation. But at least all those operations or all those items that are over, right, logically concluded, we can at least expect this, that we can find out about it via RTI. Quad to meet on maritime security. So 13th East Asia Summit is going to take place in Singapore mid-November, and we are going to find these 4 countries: India, USA, Japan, Australia. They are going to interact with each other. It's basically about Quad. It's basically about Indo-Pacific region. India has clearly stated that it does not want to see Quad as a as a military group. With discussions, if we can sort out things, that's fine. But at present, India is not ready for a lethal Quad or this militarization of Quad. And last item, Prime Minister is going to visit Maldives for Soli's new president's inauguration. Then you have this picture on your screen, this infographic. So once you download this file, you can go through it. It's about statues, right? And we are going to see some more as well. Now, poop in hand, Bill Gates back China's toilet revolution. This man here, he inspires so many of us because he's one of the richest person, right? Even he does not do anything at all as far as work is concerned. He's going to have everything that one can wish for as far as material world is concerned. But then as well, he's up in the early morning and he's out there doing some sort of work, some social work or philanthropic work. So this indicates that money is not everything. Once you see money is not everything, means not that you should not try to be rich. Yes, right? Wealth is not bad. If you have wealth, that's fine. But you should also know how to, spend that wealth for someone else. You should learn how to give it back to society. But for that, you have to reach there. So one thing is there, point, if you want to note it down. The second thing that I would like to add here is that in our country we find untouchability is still there. There are a few pockets where we find this sort of things. Then we have also manual scavenging and all these things are going on. So it's so bad, and open defecation as well is something that we are trying to achieve. Results are, up. It means we have seen things up and down. It's not that it's not bad, but it's not perfect as well in our country. And Bill Gates is educating us by informing this thing in this China's toilet revolution, a sort of Swachh China Abhiyan sort of thing that took place in China, where Bill Gates was present, and he said that we can save 5 lakh young lives every year by reinventing the lavatory for the world's poorest countries. He said that a small jar, or he was having a jar of human waste when he was giving this lecture. So he said that a small amount of feces could contain as many as 200 trillion rotavirus cells, 20 billion Shingilla bacteria, and 1 lakh parasitic worm eggs. He also said that if we can sterilize human waste, then we can save some $233 billion annually. So that's everything in today's discussion, dear friends. As you know that today there was no Hindu, so I have tried my level best to deliver as good examples and good news items. And of course the special topic is for sure 100% important for your examination, for ease of doing business, for economic enhancement, or for growth and development and things like that. So that's everything. Enjoy your Diwali. Make sure you share this lecture with other students, and God bless you all. I'll see you tomorrow.